Let me get everything recording. And now I'm turning the live streams on. Hey, it's Bill, and you're tuned into 3 Questions in a Song, episode number 31. With me tonight is Utah from the band The Noble Hops. What's up, Utah?
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing well. For those of you that aren't familiar, Utah was an integral part in building what I do today. He picked the name AK Music Scene, which was the first domain that I owned, and helped me name it, and has supported me along the way. So I want to throw a thank you out to you before we even get started, Utah.
Well, that's really cool, Bill, and thank you goes back to you because you've been at it probably longer than anybody I know supporting a local music scene. So right back at you.
Well, that's the AK Music Scene was January 2004, but I had been doing it since about 96. It just became official then.
Yeah, well, I understand that.
So we are on 3 Questions in a Song, which means I'm going to ask you 3 questions. We're going to talk about your song. We're not going to play your song live on the live videos, but it will be on the episode. So those of you that are tuned in live, you're going to have to go check out buildthescene.com and listen so that you can hear the song. Yeah, so without putting it off, there's very few segues. It's question, 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 and mostly because I'm terrible at this. Okay,
You
Utah.
haven't heard my answers yet, so.
So you've been a part of the music scene as far back as I can remember, both as an artist and as a business owner. What do you believe the scene needs the most to allow bands to succeed?
Well, I'm not 100% sure what the definition of to succeed is. It's probably different
for everybody.
For everybody, but I think it's a very strong scene, and I think there's plenty of opportunity for anyone in the scene who has talent and a good product and the drive to succeed to whatever level they wish to obtain. I guess if anything, platforms and shows like what you have and like what the Rock Station 97.7 is doing to support local music, regularly, those are real boosts to the artists in the area. And I think if just more media outlets, would give local music the voice that it deserves, it would certainly help. But it always comes down to the artist putting in what they want to get out of it. But, there's a lot of big voices in the area, and if they would get behind the scene, and it's as good as anything on the national level. So I think that'd be a big help.
Anytime I'm in an area where I can actually tune into 97.7, I am tuned in. But where I am in a little corner where Allegheny, Westmoreland, and Armstrong all meet, it doesn't come in very well right here.
Well, they do have a free app for Android and iPhone. And
yes, and I have used that as well.
Download that and stream it live or stream live at 977rocks.com. Hey, just like we're doing, streaming.
That's right. And since we're on that topic, do you want to give a little quick advertisement for the Grassroots Show?
Well, yeah, I co-host a show on that radio station, the Rock Station 97.7, along with Bob Cupp, and we're in our 8th year, and we pretty much focus on the local music scene here. We air Sunday nights at 7, and you can tune us in on the radio or stream us live, and also find us on demand. We archive our episodes, but every Sunday night, 7 p.m., we're doing something with the music scene. Industry professionals, musicians, music store owners, venues, whatever. We try to play as much music as we can. And the cool thing about the management of that station is they take songs from that show and they put them into regular rotation also. So you'll hear local music all day long, sandwiched in between, every other song they're playing on the radio.
I want to mention real quick that since you the listeners will be going to buildthescene.com later, so you can listen to this. If you click on other shows in the menu, the Grassroots Show has a direct link to all of their archived shows on our podcast page as well. So
that's cool.
So you can find it when you go listen to this. Hey, question number 2 for you, Utah, and this one I think was pretty fitting because of your history of working with the scene. If you were going to create a supergroup from our scene to manage, not play in, manage, who would you put in the group and why?
You know what, Bill? It's funny you prefaced that question the way you did because I'm really not a fan of these types of questions. So you're probably not going to get the answer you're looking for. I mean, having been in plenty of bands myself, and I've managed them as well, like Rockabilly Junction and After the Fall and Cage and several others. After having done that, I'd probably say it'd be a solo artist because dealing with bands is, like a marriage times however many people are in the band, and asking, where do you want to eat tonight?
I don't care.
I'd say for right now, I'm good. Just managing myself and the Noble Hops. We'll go with that.
I like that answer. So the song that we're going to play tonight is called The Amish Ninja. And I listened to it and I read your brief biography that you wrote for me on it. And I'm still at a loss. What actually happened that day?
Well, it started with a camping. And first off, the Amish Ninja he's a local Western Pennsylvania legend. So I was camping with him, and it just started off that way. It was a Memorial Day weekend, and I showed up, and he just started bitching at me about half a hoagie, and he didn't let off of me for most of the trip, and came out one night from the camper and wrote that song. And it's a lot of fun. It's a good time. So we're having fun with it.
Now, you also mentioned in your email that you recorded all the parts on it except for the drum track, which was Chris Rain from a bazillion bands as well.
Yeah, he did the drums, and we recorded the song at his studio, the main studio. He's a recording engineer and on it as well. So. But yeah, it's a fun band, fun song, I should say. And the cowbell at the beginning is actually the cowbell that the Amish Ninja gave me years ago, and asked me to learn how to play it. So that's why it's there.
Nice. Hey, so what we're going to do is take a moment and listen to the Amish Ninja. And those of you that are tuned in live are just going to hear us get quiet for a moment. And that's when you should type in buildthescene.com and have it open for Wednesday when the episode actually goes up. 2-day leadway. Open up, leave it open. Hey, so that was the Amish Ninja by the Noble Hops Band. Is it band? You have band at the end?
We used to, not really anymore. We're just kind of transitioning to Noble Hops and Noble Hops music overall.
So Frank Vieira was on the last episode, and he has a question for you, which I will edit in later. But his question was, what makes your hops so noble?
Yeah, I love that episode with Frank. Frank's a cool guy. I've had the great pleasure of working with him over the years. We've had him on as a guest as well. So, good question, Frank. First off, let me preface the fact that we all live here, so it fits in perfectly with that. But noble hops are used to create some of the finest beers in the world, and they're also a hop that's been cross-pollinated over centuries to create other hops. And many other beers have evolved out of it as well. And this music project is sort of like that. It consists of a lot of cross-pollination as well. The current main lineup right now consists of myself, and I've played solo in the area, as well as in bands such as the Bluegrass Holes, One Gig Big, and Bum, and Jennifer Lynn Baker, and she comes from well-known groups like the Gravel Road Band and Junkman's Widow also. So, and then she played in those bands with her partner and Noble Hop himself, Johnny Cat Hendricks. Unfortunately, Cat lost his battle with scleroderma last year, so we certainly miss him, but his musical legacy lives on as well from the aforementioned bands. And he's been in groups like Order 66, Three-Legged Dog, and Lost Souls. So, there's a whole lot of cross-pollinating going on there. And then, of course, we've got Rob Keller from the Shiners. He's been an integral part of the project. He comes from bands like Knucklehead and Exit 14, Loaded Dice, Too Bad Honky Conkers, and I mean just a dozen more. I can't even list. So he's been an integral part. And we've had the great pleasure of playing with Zach Rabito also, who was with Sean Hartman, Anger the Ant, and recently was touring the country with the Hawkeyes. And we do some holiday stuff also with the incredibly talented Jessie Boldy Norris. We've done some, a Christmas parade every year, and we put out some holiday singles with her. So when you put all of that together and mix it all up, you end up getting something very tasty, very refreshing, high quality, and very consumable. So I guess that'll wrap it up for that.
That is an amazing answer to that question. I expected, especially because before we came on the air, Utah told me all his answers are going to be 6 words.
Well,
that one was in depth, and I feel like I was there at the beginning.
Oh, well, good. Well, but ultimately it comes down to we like beer. So,
so okay, that part of it was about 6 words. All right, so what I need from you now, Utah, is Brady Novotny is the next guest to be on the show, and I need you to ask him a question.
All right, I'll do that. And we're looking forward to having Brady on the Grassroots Show coming up here in a couple of months as well. So, Brady, here's your question. What was the first song you ever heard your wife sing? And if you want to feel free to tell the story, the time, place, etc., go for it.
Every time that I talk to Brady, I bring up that she has a podcast as well. It's called Dish on Diz. It's about Disney. You should look that one up too.
There you go.
So how can my listeners find the Noble Hops on the internet or out and about?
Well, we do have that thing where everybody gets along so well called Facebook. You can find us on there. At,
no sarcasm there.
at Noble Hops Music. And then, of course, we have a website also, noblehopsmusic.com. And I encourage you to jump over there and watch our very first single, The Hophead Stomp, and take our beer drinking challenge with that.
What is the beer drinking challenge? I have to know now.
Well, it's about a minute 54 second long song, a little video that goes with it, and let us know how many beers you can throw down while that song's playing.
Is there a record so far, and do you hold it?
I do not hold it. My son claims to hold it at 4 beers, so I don't know if I should be proud of that or not.
All right, well, I want to thank you for coming on episode 31 and for everything you've done for me since, well, almost like 2003, I think is when we actually met.
Yeah, likewise, Bill. You've been a big part of the scene for sure, and would love to have you back on the Grassroots Show again, too.
Well, that is something that would be easier to happen right now since I'm not in a school building for the next 3 months.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but we'll have to talk about that. I do want to mention, if you're watching the video right now, the scroller at the bottom does have the Noble Hops Band's website. I said band. It's noblehopsmusic.com. It's scrolling down there. It also has PA Rock Show and Build the Scene listed there. And like I said, you can find the 97.7 Grassroots Show by going to buildscene.com and going to the other podcast link under shows. Make sure you join us each and every 1st and 15th of the month for the releases. Brady Novotny is up next on the 1st of May. I almost said the 15th. Yours is the 15th.
Tax day, yeah.
But, okay, so once again, I want to thank everybody who tuned in live and everyone that will be tuning in on, what's that commercial? What the recording is it? Memorex, on Memorex. Is it live or is it Memorex?
There you go.
And we will catch you on the 1st.